Hey, it's your friend CJ here, and I am coming to you guys today with my Week 5 team builder for the PMC D-League. We are the coach of the Baltimore Oriolus, and we are taking on Evil Orso, coach of the Windsor Weaviles, in a rematch of our Week 2 battle. We were able to come out victorious in that game. I think it was a 2-0. It might have been a 3-0, but I'm pretty sure it was a 2-0. We were able to do some good work with a Life Orb Scolipede that I brought. It killed a Clefable, a Registeel, and a Salamence. We, of course, do not have Scolipede on our team anymore. We've made some big changes since then, and Orso's also made some changes. Let's quickly look at his team. He's got a Victini, Clefable, Donphan, Chestnut, Melodic, Registeel, Manectric, Salamence, Absol, Combuskin, and Frostlass. Now, the new mons this time around are the Melodic, the Manectric, and the Combuskin. He dropped a Blastoise and some other electric type that I can't remember, and he dropped Entei. And so he's put some new mons on his team, and it's a really good team. I'm still a firm believer that I probably should have lost that Week 2 match. I benefited from the fact that Absol did not come in and click Sucker Punch on my Scolipede. I was at an amount of HP where it easily would have killed. I did not have any bulk investment as far as I can recall. So we got some pretty good fortune there. And we've had to come up with a new strategy because we don't even have Scolipede to begin with. And I think I have a really awesome team. This is one of the teams I'm most proud of, you guys. I've been waiting since I made my free agency moves in order to build this team. And I think it's going to be really cash. You guys are really going to like it. And we are going to start off with a... Let's make this level 50 just because... a Damp Rock Jirachi with Rain Dance, Healing Wish, Heart Stamp, and U-Turn. Mixed defensive. This is the same amount of defense investment that I had the last time. It could take on stuff like Chestnut easily and stuff like that. We probably could put more. This defense investment was there so we could set up subs on the Chestnut and other stuff, but we don't actually have substitute on this set, so it doesn't really matter, but I still wanted the mixed bulk. You guys know exactly what kind of team we're setting up here now that you've seen this. Rain Dance to support the Manaphy, to support the Seismitoad, to support the Heliolisk, and it also supports Whimsicott and Skarmory as well. Some of his Pokemon, he can take on my Whimsicott and Skarmory with fire coverage, but obviously fire coverage isn't effective. I mean, it still does damage, but it's not as effective under the rain as it would be otherwise. So we have Damp Rock to get as many rain turns as possible, and Healing Wish so we can heal up our main attackers. Heart Stamp just because it does damage to basically everything. It doesn't hit everything neutrally, obviously, but things that we need to hit, it does damage to. It does good damage to Clefable. It does good damage to Melodic and to Chestnut. And it's got that really nifty 30% chance to flinch, 100% accuracy. We could have gone with something like Zen Headbutt, but it's only 20% chance to flinch, and it's not as accurate. So I think this is better. U-turn to get momentum, and maybe if he makes a swap, we can U-turn into either our Heliolisk or our Seismitoad and take on whatever he brings in. So this is really where it all starts. I don't think I'm going to lead with this because... his likely leads are going to be Donphan or Victini. And this does not really take on either of those things, but we can get in with this on the Melodic, on the Chestnut, on the Manectric, on a bunch of things, on the Combuskin even, honestly. Those are the things that I'm going to try and target with this Jirachi. And then if we can get some opportunities to bring in our Seismitoad, we are going to do some work. We get this thing in for free. It just goes on a rampage. Scald, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Hidden Power, Ice. Scald because it's very powerful stab. Hits Victini, hits Combuskin, hits Donphan, hits Registeel pretty hard. We do have Earth Power, of course, for the Registeel, and we also have that for excuse me, for the Combuskin if for some reason we prefer the extra power. But I mean, it doesn't matter. The Combuskin's going to die to either of these hits. Suz Wave for the Clefable, also for the Chestnut. It does like 78% minimum to the Chestnut, so if you get a tiny bit of prior damage, we can take that on. And that's assuming like a full HP set with no special defense investment. So we'll have to kind of like scat it out and make sure he's not doing anything too funny. And then Hidden Power Ice for the Salamence if he's not bulky, if he's Scarf Ments. One, we do outspeed Scarf Ments, and we outspeed Scarf base 100s in general with this investment. Because Scarf base 100s, it's 167 times 1.5. Whoops. 1.5 is 250, and we hit 252 in the rain with this set. So yeah, like I'm saying, if we can get in for free with this thing, do we just go on a rampage? You know, Earth Power takes on Manectric as well. That was one that I forgot. It's going to be hard to switch this thing in, because it might not necessarily be hard, I guess isn't quite the right way to say it, but if you bring certain coverage moves, mainly grass moves, we can be in some trouble. So like, for example, we can normally wall Manectric with this thing unless he has Hidden Power Grass. If he has Hidden Power Grass and he hits us up on switch in, we're in trouble. So that's something that we're going to have to be on the lookout for, and stuff like that. So we'll just quickly move along here. We are already 6 minutes in this video, and I'd like to keep it to 10 minutes or so. Rindoberry Manaphy, bulky with special defense investment, enough speed to outspeed an Adamant Victini, or a Modest Victini. I don't, to be honest, I don't know which he likes to run, if he likes to run Timid or if he likes to run Modest. We're going to have to kind of play it by ear. Rindoberry with Rain Dance, Tail Glow, Rest, and Scald. Sure, he has some things that resist Scald on his team, but if we're at +6 versus Melodic and we're in the rain, we actually 2-hit KO it, even with Leftovers Recovery. I haven't done the calcs for Chestnut, but it might be able to 2-hit KO. I don't anticipate staying in on a Chestnut unless we still have our Rindoberry. Mainly the Rindoberry is for setting up on the Victini. I was really thinking about putting Wakanberry on this instead, but in my first match against Orso, he did not bring Thunder on his Victini. He brought Energy Ball, and I think he has even more reason to bring Energy Ball now that I have Seismitoad. And he could, I guess, bring Thunder for Skarmory, but why would he ever bring Thunder when he can just click Blue Flare? So that's what I'm thinking with Manaphy here. Just another Rain Dance setter. Just an annoying, bulky Mon for a lot of the members of his team. This thing can set up on Melodic, it can set up on Registeel, it can set up on Clefable, it can set up on Combuskin probably, it can set up on Frostlass probably. Even things like Donphan potentially. Like, Donphan can do good damage to us probably, or decent damage to us depending upon his spread. I haven't actually calced that yet, and I will do that before the match. But the thing is that a Donphan's not staying in on a Manaphy, you know? It's just not something that happens. So there's just lots of opportunities to set up a Tail Glow, and I wanted to go bulky because, like I said, this is, you know, Tail Glow would be nice to get off, but he has some dangerous attackers that I'm afraid of, so I want the bulk to be able to take it on, and Tail Glow is just going to be there. I don't know, kind of as like a last case move. I was thinking about putting U-Turn on it, but I decided to go with Tail Glow instead, just because I wanted a little bit of extra offense if needed, and I didn't think that the gaining momentum with Manaphy was as beneficial as it is with something like Jirachi. Alright, let's go through the rest of the team real quick here. Life Orb, Heliolisk, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Surf, Focus Blast. We have enough speed to outspeed a +1 Combuskin. He doesn't have very good switch-ins for this coverage. This hits everything except for Donphan and Chestnut for super effective damage. Surf is for Donphan. Focus Blast hits Registeel, and also I guess I can hit that Donphan, or not the Donphan, the Chestnut. So this is going to be really nice. Max attack, special attack that is, and Dry Skin's going to be great because it counteracts the Life Orb recoil that we take in the rain, and it also can counteract any Stealth Rock damage that we take upon switch-in. So this thing has a lot of longevity. It's unfortunately not quite as potent as like Solar Power, where you get a special attack boost in the weather, but, you know, just having this thing around is really nice. He doesn't have anything that outspeeds it on his team without a Scarf, except for the Absol. We do have a very similar set on our Whimsicott that's compared to what we brought before. Moonblast, Giga Drain, U-Turn, but this time we're packing Memento. Memento is just so I can get a free switch into one of my Rain Pokemon or my Rain Setters. And it's good to know, too, that Whimsicott's Memento does go through Magic Bounce. I did test that earlier, and I'm positive that that works. You know, sometimes you never know with certain moves if they go through or not. Like stuff like Encore, you know, that does get bounced back, but Memento does not, which is great. We're defensive, so we can take on Absol, we can take on Salamence, and we can take on Combuskin in the rain. Absol in the rain is not going to be a problem with this thing. I said in the video last time, if he is packing fire coverage on his Absol, the Whimsicott would not have been able to take that, but now we can, because its Fire Blast is reduced by half. So that's the Whimsicott's job this game. And then we also have a defensive Skarmory, Stealth Rock, Toxic, Roost, and Brave Bird. Brave Bird just for like hitting Chestnut really hard. We don't really have any move that can hit something like Donphan or Registeel extremely hard. Toxic, just in case we need to Toxic something like Donphan or Chestnut. Or, you know, as long as he doesn't go into Registeel, we can get some damage off. I don't see Registeel being a switch in for this thing. He doesn't have any poison Pokemon who can resist the Toxic. Stealth Rock, because it's really important. With this investment, we can pretty easily take on Absol. Again, if it has Fire Blast and we get the rain up, it only does like 40% max to us. So we can go for Brave Bird, Roost up, and rinse and repeat as long as we still have the rain. And then if we don't have the rain, then Manaphy can take a hit if we need. And Afroman, you know, it takes dark type moves. It takes play roughs and stuff like that. So this is just here, yeah, as rocks. That's really all I need, and just as an annoying defensive Pokemon in general. It also gets Toxic off Almolotic. I don't know if I mentioned that. It doesn't do a ton else for me otherwise, but I didn't want to bring Sandslash for rocks because that doesn't really make sense in the rain. So yeah, that's the team, you guys. I think it's going to work really well. I know that Orso is not going to expect it. He does have some bulky Pokemon, which my team doesn't deal the greatest with. But we have a lot of super effective coverage throughout the team that we can break through. And the nice thing too is that, you know, if we have to use a sweeper to wall break a little bit, as long as we preserve it, we can Healing Wish it later. And that should allow us to whittle his core down. Get to the point where if we get up 8 turns of rain, Seismitoad just sweeps. Barring a Mega Absol with Sucker Punch. That can probably still do a good bit of damage to us. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. The video for our battle will be going up tomorrow, and definitely tune in for that. Check back to the channel for other Pokemon content, and until the next time, I will see you all later.